privileges. We are all servants, and um, we have to do our best. How do you say that? Lo mejor de lo que, or how? Let me quote President Hinckley. He said once, you heard people quoting me saying, do the best, yeah? Do the best you can. But now I'm telling you to do, what's that in English? Uh, uh, lo mejor de lo mejor que pueda.
The very best thing.
The very best, okay? So we have to look for excellence in whatever we do in the church, and that's it.
You know, I want to just take a minute to say thank you, Jean, for you know me, I cry. But what it means to me to be in touch with you again after all these years, how you have touched my life, and how grateful I am for the effort you've made to come here, to be here. You've got a lot of work to do here in the States for your business, and you took the time to come here first. And I know that took a lot of effort, and it took extra money. And I am very grateful, very grateful. And I want to say something too, just something that's touched me through knowing Jean and seeing him after all these years, is when you think you've just shared the gospel with one person, it goes so far beyond that, because now Jean has, all of his posterity will be members of the church. All of his ancestors will be baptized through him. So before and beyond, and everyone who surrounds him, through his influence as a bishop, as well as through all the missionary open houses that you've had, how many lives you've touched, Jean. It's just incredible.
Now you would think that people would think that you taught one person the gospel, but this is just a fraction of temple work which I've done, and I still have more names which are not here. But all these people were baptized, and thanks to what you did. You didn't teach only me, so you taught all the. I mean, you have all these people here to get the temple ordinances. And you know, these people here, they would just give you a hug. They would give me a hug. They're already giving Sister Rose a hug on the other side of the veil for what she did. And as I was saying, that time, I mean 2 years ago when I called you, I said, okay, this would be the last ditch intent. If it fails, I would just give up. Maybe one day if I go to the U.S., I would look for where Redlands is. Then I said, okay, because I was calling and your parents' area had been changed, and that number was, I think, in Sandy, Utah, something like that. Then I said, okay, I had the revelation that day. I had the internet in my home. And the voice said, okay, why don't you type? Because I had that concern. Where might you be? Where might Sister Rose be? So I had those concerns, and the voice said, okay, just type in there Redlands phone and to see what comes up. And I typed Redlands phone, and I had the area code. And I checked with the one I had. Oh, it was not the same. Then I said, okay, this should be the new area code. And then the voice said, okay, why don't you digit this area code and the old phone number, which I did. And then your mom answered.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really a wonderful experience. Say, wow. And she said, I think it was on a Friday, Kathleen is coming today to see us. I said, wow, that's fantastic. And then, did you call me back or did I call you?
I don't remember which way it went, but I talked to you that night.
Yeah. And we've been in touch ever since. This occurred 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and let me express my gratitude to you for having touched my life and for having allowed all this to happen. And as I said once, that you didn't have your children, you don't have your children, but my children are your children because they wouldn't have been born if you hadn't done your missionary work. So I wouldn't meet my wife in the church, you know. We wouldn't have been married, and we wouldn't have had the children that we have. You see what I mean? So my family is the result, and my children especially, are the result of the work that you did, which allowed me to come to Ecuador and keep active in the church and meet my wife in the church and start a family. So you should take some credit for that, right?
Well, you know what I feel grateful for, John? It's the Lord, as you know. It's the Lord's work, and I just was blessed to be the one. I mean, it could have been anybody. I was just blessed to be the one who was there that day with Sister Rote, and as you know, passed away, but I have no doubt she knows very much how you are and how you're doing.
Yeah. Good, Kathleen. I think daylight is
It's time for us to get going.
Okay.
good. So I promise. When you promise, you keep it.
That's a promise. I heard it, and it's on tape.
Oh, it's on tape.
It's taping you.
It's being recorded. Yeah, I will come back. Yeah. And
Did you lose your car keys? That's difficult. Can't find her car.
but she has an extra key.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to
Isn't that nice to have that freedom to just take, see where it leads you?
Yeah. Because sometimes things that don't come out as you plan.
That's right.
So
That's right.
just
You never know.